Hello, this is Blue Star, defender of Equestria, and this is my SeaquestriaFest Day 3 video, and the con is officially over. But it was a great time, and I think every pony had a good time there, so... roar. Yes, I have to hold on to this so it doesn't blow away. Again, you know, I don't know if this is such a good idea or not, especially since it is now, 8... Oh my gosh, it is now 8:30, and on my schedule it says 5:30 to 6:30 closing ceremonies, so... But I guess more on that later. So basically the day started off with, of course, my own panel, The Ponies of Maritime Bay, character analysis of the main 5 and the supervillains, and it went okay. I mean, it was again just sort of like the first panel. I would say it could have been a lot worse. Because, yeah, I mean, for starters, the big one is, yeah, this was the one that was originally supposed to be a 1 hour panel, but it's actually got scheduled as an hour and a half. So I was like, okay, I could do that, and every time I've practiced this, it's actually been a lot more. It's been closer to, like, it's been like 110 minutes or so. All of a sudden, it's like, but when I do it, it's like, oh, wait a minute, you know, it's like, I get to, like, zip, and it's, like, only, like, 30 minutes in, and I'm like, uh-oh. It's like, once again, I finished early, so, which, honestly, I'm not happy about, because when I finish early, I feel like I let the panel down. It's like I didn't do enough, and so... But at the same time, however, with the Q&A, ironically ended at about 57 minutes, so if this had been an original panel of just an hour, I was perfectly on time, so... And I do have to say that there was a slightly... Well, it wasn't really an unfortunate incident, it just, you know, in some ways, it just didn't make me feel very good, was that... I think I'm going to say this the way that maybe I should have said it, so that it maybe didn't cause the slight issue, shall we say, that I really like Pip, you know, the way that she's a social media star, because, you know, I like the fact that, Oh yeah, I like the fact that, you know, Pip doesn't have to be a social media star, because, you know, my brain is completely malfunctioning, and again, it's kind of late, and it's getting kind of cold out here now. But at least hopefully now you can actually see the sea a little bit, so... Roar. But yeah, but I'm really glad that, you know, Pip doesn't have to be a Barbie doll in order to be a successful social media star, because if you look at her proportions, you know, she's a little bit more, you know, she's actually a little bit overweight. I stress a little bit. And that, yeah, by no means is Pip fat or anything like that, but yeah, if you look at her, especially when we see her in A New Generation, yeah, she's a little bit, as one of the audience members said, was a little pudgy. But again, she looks great, and even so, she's an amazing super social media star, so I liked that. Unfortunately, when I said, well, if you look at her proportions, you know, she's actually a little bit overweight, the audience went, what? And then kind of got a little bit off topic, got a little bit, you know, like, but, you know, what are you talking about? It wasn't quite, you know, what are you talking about? But it was that kind of stuff, but yeah, they were sort of questioning it, and then I tried to say, well, if you look at Zip's proportions, well, then they say, well, she's older, well, I was, and then I went to and then I said, well, you know, I was gonna say, what I was trying to say was that, you know, she doesn't have to be a Barbie doll in order to be a successful social media star. So that's sort of the downside to doing live in-person, you know, things like either online or in person, is that sometimes that can cause trouble. But in some ways it can also be, you know, good, because, okay, yeah, now I can actually explain, oh, what did I mean by that? It's like, no, I'm not saying that Pip is fat, I'm just saying that, yes, she's a little bit overweight, you know, and stuff, which is fine. Heck, I'm a little overweight. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it was, in some ways, it wasn't that big of a deal, because again, sometimes these things are gonna happen, but it's like, it doesn't make me feel good, because it's like, oh, I made every pony upset. That doesn't make me feel good, and of course, nobody likes being wrong. So yeah, that kind of also put me off of that panel for a little bit. So yeah. But again, overall, I think that panel was actually successful. I think every pony did enjoy it, and overall, it was okay. I mean, and yeah, but at the same time, you know, kind of what happened from last night, you know, affected it was that, yeah, I really shouldn't have gone to the concert. Yeah, again, it's like, unfortunately, I think the short answer is I was struggling with the, okay, I should take care of my panels or I should enjoy the con. And in that case, I decided, you know what, I should just go to the concert and enjoy it. But unfortunately, I probably should have had just a, you know, a quiet night and, you know, maybe gone over the presentation even a little bit because, yeah, I ended up not getting much sleep the night before, you know, my final panel, and I'm like a little bit like, so that may have contributed to this panel not going quite the way that I was hoping it to. So yeah, so I still gotta work on that a little bit. So so yeah, then obviously, yeah, then let's just say you know, let's just say I went to the beach a little bit and, you know, stuff, and then came back here, had some lunch and everything, and then, I did go to this panel, the Show Tunes panel. It was, so, I mean, all I'm gonna say is, it went okay. It was kind of, you know, basically this was an idea of like, oh, we're gonna sing like all the, you know, some of the famous My Little Pony songs, and that kind of worked out okay, but generally, it could have been better, but still, it was interesting and it was fun, and I did get to step onto the stage with everybody else and sing like the My Little Pony theme song, so that was great. I think after that I basically just hung around the hotel room. I kind of like my sort of almost like afternoon, you know, recharge kind of things, like recharge my camera batteries and my home batteries, so I kind of liked that. Unfortunately, that kind of put me a little bit late for the cosplay contest. I almost was like, I'm trying to get this on, I'm running out of time, I gotta get out of here. I was almost not gonna go to that. It's just like, but I'm really glad that I did, because it's like, I won the first, you know, the advanced division. Yay! It's like, I've entered cosplay contests, it's like, oh, you know, it'll be fun, I'll walk out on stage, gonna show off my costume, but it's like, I never thought I'd actually win one, so, so yeah, so I actually, yeah, there was a number of divisions. There was like the youth division, the novice division, the advanced division, and, you know, my armor, you know, at first I thought, well, I mean, it's okay, you know, let's just say I follow from Evil Ted's community, and there are way better costumes out there. So I looked at this as like, that's a novice, but actually, no, this is kind of more advanced kind of stuff. So yeah, so I changed to the advanced division, and again, I actually won that division, so roar! At the same time, I'm really glad that these two fursuiters, which hopefully I will have a picture of over here somewhere or something, because I'm glad that they won Best in Show, because they totally deserve it. Because, oh my gosh, that, you know, fursuiting is like almost like a whole other level onto itself, and they worked so hard on that. And, you know, one of them had like fancy lights in the hooves that were like, you know, that synced to like audio and stuff. It was amazing. They definitely deserve to win the best prize. So I'm glad by that, because yeah, I remember like when they were, you know, announcing the winner of the advanced division, is like, I was thinking, you know what? I might actually win this. It was like, that's never happened before. I do have to say that there was probably only 3 or 4 other entries, but even so, it's like, I'm really glad that I actually won a cosplay contest. So, all I gotta do is now figure out how do I get this thing home without breaking it. So anyway, so yeah, so then I went to the charity auction, which was pretty much, you know, I ran off, a bunch of it, took off all my costume, and then ran back downstairs again. That was actually pretty surprising. That was actually really good and stuff. I thought that was great. I mean, you'd be amazed the things that people will, you know, spend, you know, money on and stuff, and it was just so great. It was just so outrageous. The thing that I personally was the best is that I happened to end up sitting behind Ellie Ray, I believe her last name is, and that was in some ways kind of cool, because I could clearly hear what she's saying to all the other people and everything, and I thought that was interesting. I mean, there were some kind of gross things where it's like like during there was this panel called The Great Equestrian Bake Off. I honestly didn't think that they were actually going to bake anything by the description, but apparently they did, and some of them were like these really gross, disgusting cakes and stuff. But but anyway, so yeah, unfortunately they made some, you know, some of the people like ate them as like, okay, if you donate a certain number of dollars or something, we'll go eat this cake or something. It's like, that was gross and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, I will probably be posting that video when I get home. Yeah, because I did record most of that panel. Yeah, all I'm going to say is, between the charity auction and the closing ceremonies, I practically depleted this battery. So yeah, so after the charity auction, which was it was actually incredibly emotional, that last year, it's like, I didn't end up, you know, bidding on anything, so I walked over to them and like, here's $100 or something, but it's like, but then I saw that, you know, that the con share was getting all emotional and stuff, and the first bit was that raised over $4,000 for, you know, the charity that they're donating to, but the other was that, you know, that some person had bid on like this, I'll call it a SeaquestriaFest like badge or plaque, if you will, and it spent probably, I think, you know, over $400, maybe $500 on it, and actually donated it to the con chair. So she was really emotional, and I could understand that. Roar. So wow, that was a lot more, in some ways, intense and emotional than I thought that was gonna be. So then finally was the closing ceremonies. It's like, unfortunately, I don't remember why everything kind of got out of whack. I think that the cosplay contest might have run longer than it should have, and then it led to the charity auction taking longer, or both. But yeah, the closing ceremonies happened way later than they should have, and basically only ended like, you know, 20 minutes ago or something. So yeah, so again, it is, yeah, so like when I started this video, it was basically like, you know, so I say that probably ended around maybe 8:20-ish or so. So yeah, my schedule is now completely blown to pieces, basically. It's like, I was chatting with someone, and it's like I'm trying to pack up my camera because, yeah, it's like, you know, it's past 8 o'clock, and I haven't even begun to pack up the stuff to put in the car yet because I'll be leaving tomorrow. Ugh. It's like, in some ways, thank goodness that I don't do what I did initially during BronyCon, which was, okay, con's over, let's get in the car and drive. It's like, no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that anymore. It takes so long to pack up the car. And besides, yeah, if I had even if I had left at the time that the con was supposed to close, I'd still be getting home at like 11 o'clock or plus, and just, that's no fun. So, overall, so yeah, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do now, because it's like, it's getting really late. I don't even know if I should try to pack. I mean, I'll probably try to pack up my stuff and maybe load at least some of it into the car, but it's like, I haven't even had dinner yet, and so yeah. Yeah, so overall, the last day was, you know, in some ways it was a mix of the good and the bad, but overall it was actually pretty good. I mean, I think I must admit, I think I'm almost what I call con days, especially on the last day where, you know, everyone, you know, a lot of people are either leaving, or have left, or in the process of leaving, things are closing down and all those sorts of things, and it's always sad on the last day. And yeah, I think unfortunately these 3 panels I've had, in some ways I've almost taken over the kinds of things that I would, you know, have taken over in a lot of ways, because I've been so worried about them, and like, will they do well, will they succeed, or will they crash and burn? I would say the panels, in some ways, definitely 1 was a win, 2 were a little iffy, but overall I think the panels were good. Ponies enjoyed them. It's like, I think ponies didn't just, again, my coping strategy is to ignore the audience and try to focus on the presentation, so I didn't really, you know, notice our ponies like walking out. I think the short answer is that ponies were constantly walking in rather than walking out, so that may have been good in itself, so. But yeah, I mean, I'd say overall the panels were successful. The good news is that maybe I might run these exact panels again, or maybe I'll run different ones, or maybe I'll know how to handle them better and all those sorts of things. Dear, oh dear. But But yeah, but overall, SeaquestriaFest, I think, was successful. It was really good. I mean, we had more people here this year than last year, because we've combined with the staff, I believe it was 254 people, you know, and all that stuff. So that's really good. I mean, even at the closing ceremony, just saying, you know what, at this rate, we might have to get a bigger venue. So, interesting. I mean, at the same time, this venue is actually kind of nice. I mean, again, it's getting kind of dark out there. I don't know if you can see all that well, but it's still, you know, again, we're literally right on the beach, so. But in any case, you know, I enjoyed SeaquestriaFest. It was good. It was a lot of fun, and I did get to do 3 panels. It's like, roar. Anyway, yeah, SeaquestriaFest was overall pretty, you know, good, and I enjoyed it, and I definitely look forward to coming back next year. But as always, the last day of a con is always the saddest. It's like, but I think it's still the thing of I'm sad to leave, but I'm also looking forward to going home, particularly because that the next chapter of Make Your Mark is going to be coming out in like 2 weeks. So there's definitely a lot to think about and prepare for, and definitely to look forward to. But in any case, again, I've enjoyed my time in SeaquestriaFest here. I look forward to coming back next year, and so this will probably okay. All right, it's definitely time to stop now. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you for commenting, liking, and subscribing. And until next time, this is Blue Star. Stay strong and pony on. Blue Star out.